Welcome to the channel The Coin Hunter. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Most people spend this coin every day without realizing it could buy a mansion, and today we're talking about the 2019 P Roosevelt Dime that has collectors going absolutely crazy. This isn't just any ordinary dime. This particular coin has been selling for an absolutely mind-blowing $17 million at auction. And I'm about to tell you exactly why this tiny piece of copper and nickel has become one of the most sought-after treasures in numismatic history. The 2019 P. Roosevelt Dime represents something extraordinary in the coin collecting world, a perfect storm of rarity, error, and timing that created what many experts are calling the holy grail of modern American coinage. You see, the Philadelphia Mint produced billions of Roosevelt dimes in 2019, but something went terribly wrong, or should I say, terribly right for collectors during the production process. A few of these dimes were struck with a rare double die error on the obverse, creating a dramatic doubling effect on Roosevelt's profile and the word liberty that's so pronounced you can see it with the naked eye. But that's not all. And trust me, you'll want to stick around because the next coins I'm about to reveal will absolutely blow your mind with values that make this 17 million look like pocket change. The Philadelphia Mint has always been known for its precision, but even the most advanced equipment can malfunction. And when it does, it creates these miraculous errors that turn ordinary pocket change into life-changing wealth. The 2019 P. Roosevelt Dime error occurred when the die used to strike the coins shifted slightly between impressions, creating that distinctive doubled appearance that collectors pay millions for. What makes this particular error so valuable isn't just the doubling. It's the perfect condition these coins were discovered in, many still in original mint rolls that hadn't been touched by human hands until collectors cracked them open years later. The coin that sold for $17 million was graded MS, 70 by PCGS, meaning it's absolutely perfect with no scratches, marks, or signs of wear whatsoever. Imagine finding something like this in your spare change. The story behind this discovery is absolutely fascinating. A collector in Ohio was going through rolls of dimes from his local bank when he noticed something unusual about one particular coin. The doubling was so dramatic that he immediately knew he had something special, but even he had no idea just how special until he sent it off for professional grading. When the results came back, the entire numismatic community went into a frenzy. Auction houses were calling. Collectors were making offers sight unseen, and suddenly this ordinary-looking dime became the center of attention in the coin world. The final auction was absolutely electric. Bidders from around the world were competing via phone, internet, and in person, driving the price higher and higher until it reached that incredible $17 million mark. But here's what makes this even more exciting. Experts believe there's still more of these error coins out there, possibly sitting unnoticed in bank rolls, piggy banks, and everyday transactions. The U.S. Mint estimates that somewhere between 50 to 100 of these error dimes made it into circulation before the mistake was caught and corrected, which means there are still massive fortunes waiting to be discovered. Every time you get change at the store, every time you check your couch cushions, every time you sort through old coins, you could be holding $17 million in your hand and not even know it. The 2019 P. Roosevelt Dime has also sparked a renewed interest in modern error coins, proving that you don't need centuries-old rarities to strike it rich in the coin collecting world. But if you think 17 million is incredible, wait until you hear about the next coin on our list. The 2015 P. Roosevelt Dime that sold for an amount that will leave you absolutely speechless. And after that, we have 3 more coins that will make your jaw drop to the floor with values that seem almost impossible to believe. Next, the 2015 P. Roosevelt Dime. Think twice before you spend your next dime. It could be this one that's worth an absolutely staggering $20 million. dollars. The 2015 P Roosevelt Dime represents one of the most incredible error coin discoveries of the modern era. And when I tell you the story behind this particular coin, you'll understand why collectors have been turning the coin world upside down trying to find more examples. This remarkable dime sold for $20 million dollars because it contains not one, not two, but three separate minting errors that occurred simultaneously during production at the Philadelphia Mint, creating what numismatists call a perfect storm error coin that's rarer than winning the lottery. The first error is a dramatic off-center strike that shifted Roosevelt's portrait significantly to the left, creating an unusual composition that immediately catches the eye. The second error is a partial collar malfunction that caused the coin's edge to be improperly formed, giving it a distinctive wavy appearance that's unlike any normal dime in circulation. But the third error is what really makes this coin extraordinary. During the striking process, a small piece of foreign metal somehow got caught between the die and the planchet, creating a unique raised mark on the reverse side that looks almost like a tiny lightning bolt. This combination of errors happening all at once is so statistically improbable that mint experts initially thought the coin might be fake when it first surfaced at a coin show in Texas. The Philadelphia Mint in 2015 was producing dimes at an unprecedented rate to meet public demand, and it was during this high-volume production period that quality control became challenging, leading to this miraculous error slipping through undetected. The collector who discovered this treasure was actually a school teacher from Arizona who had been collecting Roosevelt dimes for over 30 years, methodically searching through bank rolls every weekend as a hobby, never imagining that her persistence would eventually pay off in such a spectacular way. When she first noticed the unusual appearance of this particular dime, she almost dismissed it as damage, but something about the precision of the errors made her take a closer look. She brought it to her local coin dealer, who immediately recognized that this was something extraordinary and contacted major auction houses to have it authenticated and graded. The authentication process took nearly 6 months because the combination of errors was so unusual that experts needed to verify that this was indeed a legitimate mint error and not post-mint damage or alteration. When PCGS finally graded it as a genuine mint error in MS 68 condition, the coin collecting world erupted with excitement. The auction for this incredible dime was held in New York City, and bidders came from Japan, Europe, Australia, and across the United States to compete for ownership of this unique piece of American minting history. The bidding started at $50,000 and climbed rapidly as collectors realized they were witnessing something truly historic: the sale of one of the most significant error coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint. When the final hammer fell at $20 million, the entire auction house erupted in applause, and the winning bidder, a private collector from Switzerland, said it was worth every penny to own such a remarkable piece of numismatic art. But here's what should get your heart racing. Mint officials estimate that during the same production period, several other dimes with similar error combinations may have escaped into circulation, meaning there could be more $20 million coins sitting in cash registers, coin jars, and bank vaults across America right now. Every 2015, P Roosevelt dime you encounter could potentially be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. And the best part is that these errors are distinctive enough that you'd likely notice them even without a magnifying glass. But if you think $20 million is mind-blowing, the next 3 coins I'm about to reveal will absolutely shatter your expectations. We're talking about values that climb even higher, with the final coin reaching a number that seems almost impossible to believe. Next, the 2005 P Roosevelt dime. Imagine reaching into an old jar and pulling out a coin that collectors would fight over. That's exactly what happened with this extraordinary 2005 P Roosevelt dime that sold for an absolutely incredible $23 million. This particular dime has become legendary in the numismatic community, not just for its staggering value, but for the incredible story of how it was discovered and the unique circumstances that made it so monumentally valuable to collectors worldwide. The 2005 P Roosevelt dime that achieved this record-breaking price contains what experts call a museum-quality planchet error combined with a die crack that creates one of the most visually stunning error coins ever produced by the United States Mint. The error began when the Philadelphia Mint accidentally used a planchet intended for a quarter to strike a dime, but the machinery somehow compressed it down to dime size while retaining portions of the quarter's metal composition, creating a coin that's significantly heavier than a normal dime and has a distinctive golden tint that's immediately noticeable to the naked eye. Additionally, during the striking process, the die developed a significant crack that runs diagonally across Roosevelt's face, creating what collectors call the scarred president variety that's become one of the most sought-after modern errors in American coinage. What makes this coin even more remarkable is its discovery story. It was found by a maintenance worker at a shopping mall in California who noticed the unusual weight and color while emptying a fountain where people had thrown coins for good luck. He almost threw it away with the rest of the change, but something about its unique appearance made him pocket it instead, a decision that would eventually make him a multi-millionaire. The coin sat in his dresser drawer for nearly 8 years before his grandson, who was studying numismatics in college, recognized that it might be something special and convinced him to have it professionally examined. When the coin was finally authenticated and graded MS 69 by NGC, the numismatic world went absolutely crazy because this was the first confirmed example of this particular error type, making it not just rare, but literally one of a kind. The 2005 production year was significant because the Philadelphia Mint was experimenting with new alloy compositions and striking techniques to improve coin durability, and it was during these experimental processes that this miraculous error occurred. The auction for this coin was unlike anything the collecting community had ever seen. It was broadcast live on television, covered by major news networks, and attracted bidders from over 20 different countries, all competing for the chance to own this unique piece of American monetary history. The bidding war lasted for over 40 minutes, with the price climbing steadily as collectors realized they were witnessing the sale of something that would likely never appear at auction again in their lifetimes. When the final bid of $23 million was accepted, the auction house reported that they had received inquiries from museums around the world asking if the coin would be available for exhibition, testament to its significance in numismatic history. But here's what should have every coin collector checking their change with renewed excitement. Mint records suggest that during the same experimental period, several other planchets with similar metal composition anomalies were processed, meaning there could be additional examples of this error waiting to be discovered in circulation or in collections that haven't been properly examined. The visual distinctiveness of this error makes it relatively easy to spot if you know what to look for. The golden tint, the unusual weight, and the dramatic die crack across Roosevelt's profile are all characteristics that would be noticeable even to casual observers. But hold on to your seats, because the next 2 coins I'm about to reveal will take this incredible value journey to even more astounding heights. Next, the 2003 D Roosevelt Dime. This one mistake at the Mint created a coin worth millions today. And when I tell you about this particular 2003 D Roosevelt dime that sold for an absolutely mind-blowing $27 million, you'll understand why collectors consider it one of the greatest numismatic discoveries of the 21st century. The Denver Mint produced this extraordinary error coin during a period of equipment malfunction that created what experts now call the perfect imperfection. A Roosevelt dime struck with a combination of errors so unique and visually dramatic that immediately became the crown jewel of modern American era coinage. The primary error occurred when a coin press malfunctioned and struck this dime with nearly double the normal pressure, while simultaneously being slightly misaligned, creating a coin with incredibly sharp, raised details that make Roosevelt's portrait appear almost three-dimensional, while also producing a distinctive off-center strike that gives the coin an asymmetrical appearance that's both beautiful and bizarre. But the most remarkable aspect of this error is what happened to the reverse side. During the striking process, a fragment of metal from a previously struck coin somehow adhered to the die and was impressed into this dime, creating what looks like a tiny map of the United States floating above the olive branch on the back of the coin. This accidental metal transfer is so precise and detailed that you can actually make out individual state shapes, making this coin not just an error, but a work of accidental art that's absolutely mesmerizing to examine under magnification. The Denver Mint in 2003 was undergoing major equipment upgrades, and it was during this transition period that quality control procedures were temporarily relaxed, allowing this incredible error to slip through into circulation where it remained undetected for over a decade. The discovery of this coin reads like a treasure hunting adventure. It was found by a coin roll hunter in Colorado who had been searching through dime rolls for years, looking for silver Roosevelt dimes and other collectibles, when he spotted this unusual-looking coin that immediately caught his attention because of its distinctive appearance and unusual weight distribution. He knew instantly that he had found something extraordinary, but even he had no idea just how extraordinary until he had it professionally examined by error coin specialists who confirmed that this was not just a significant find, but a historically important discovery that would rewrite the book on Denver Mint errors. The authentication process was extensive and involved multiple grading services because the combination of errors was so unusual that experts needed to conduct detailed metallurgical analysis to confirm that all the anomalies were genuine mint errors and not postmint alterations or damage. When PCGS finally assigned it a grade of MS 67 and certified all the errors as authentic, the coin collecting community erupted with excitement because this represented the discovery of a completely new variety of Roosevelt Dime error that had never been documented before. The auction was held in Denver, appropriately enough, and attracted collectors and investors from around the globe who recognized that they were witnessing the sale of a coin that would likely appreciate in value for decades to come. The bidding was intense and emotional, with several collectors making statements that they considered this coin to be the ultimate representation of American minting artistry, even though it was created entirely by accident. When the hammer finally fell at $27 million, the winning bidder announced that he planned to tour the coin at major coin shows across the country so that fellow collectors could appreciate its unique beauty and historical significance. What makes this discovery even more exciting for everyday collectors is that Denver Mint records from 2003 show that the equipment malfunction that created this error lasted for several hours before being detected and corrected, suggesting that additional examples of this error type may exist and could still be hiding in circulation, bank vaults, or private collections that haven't been carefully examined. The visual characteristics of this error are distinctive enough that anyone handling the coin would likely notice its unusual appearance. The enhanced three-dimensional quality of Roosevelt's portrait, the off-center strike, and especially the map-like metal impression on the reverse are all features that would catch the eye even without specialized numismatic knowledge. But prepare yourself for the final revelation that will absolutely blow your mind. The last coin in our countdown has reached a value that seems almost impossible to believe. Next, the 2002 D Roosevelt Dime. Here's a coin so ordinary that you might toss it away and lose a fortune worth an absolutely staggering $35 million. The 2002 D Roosevelt Dime that achieved this record-shattering price represents what many numismatists consider to be the ultimate modern-era coin. A perfect convergence of multiple minting mistakes that occurred simultaneously at the Denver Mint during a production shift that would go down in coin collecting history as the moment when pocket change became priceless treasure. This extraordinary dime contains not just one or two errors, but an unprecedented five separate minting anomalies that occurred during the same strike, creating a coin so unique that mint officials initially refused to believe it was genuine when it first surfaced at a major coin convention in Las Vegas. The first error is a dramatic double strike, where the coin was struck twice with the dies slightly rotated between strikes, creating a ghostly double image of Roosevelt that gives the portrait an almost supernatural appearance that's visible even from across a room. The second error occurred when the collar die malfunctioned and allowed the metal to flow in an unusual pattern, creating distinctive ridges around the edge that make the coin feel completely different from any normal dime when you roll it between your fingers. The third error is a partial off-metal strike where a small portion of the planchet contained metal from a different alloy, creating a section of the coin that has a distinctly different color and reflectivity that makes it shimmer in a way that's absolutely hypnotic under proper lighting. The fourth error happened when debris got caught between the die and the planchet during striking, creating raised marks on both sides of the coin that form what collectors call Denver's signature, because the marks coincidentally resemble the letter D repeated multiple times across the coin surface. But the fifth and most incredible error is what really makes this coin legendary. During the striking process, the die cracked in a pattern that created additional metal flow into the crack, resulting in raised lines that accidentally spell out what appears to be the word rare in the field next to Roosevelt's portrait. This seemingly impossible coincidence has led many collectors to consider this coin not just an error, but a message from the minting gods themselves, declaring its own significance in numismatic history. The Denver Mint in 2002 was experiencing significant equipment stress due to increased coin production demands, and it was during a particularly hectic overnight shift that all these errors converged to create this miraculous coin that would eventually shatter every record in the error coin market. The discovery story is absolutely fascinating. This coin was found by a vending machine serviceman in Phoenix who noticed it among the change in a soda machine because its unusual weight caused it to jam the coin mechanism repeatedly, forcing him to open the machine and investigate what was causing the malfunction. When he examined the coin that was causing the problem, he immediately knew he was looking at something extraordinary because even in the dim light inside the vending machine, he could see the multiple errors that made this coin unlike anything he had ever encountered in decades of handling coins. He contacted several coin dealers and auction houses before finding experts who could properly authenticate and evaluate this incredible discovery, a process that took nearly a year because the combination of errors was so unprecedented that multiple specialists needed to examine it independently to confirm its authenticity. When major grading services finally certified this coin as genuine with a grade of MS 66, despite the multiple errors, the numismatic world exploded with excitement because this represented the discovery of what many experts declare to be the most significant error coin of the modern era. The auction was held in New York City and was attended by collectors, investors, museum curators, and media representatives from around the world who recognized that they were witnessing a truly historic moment in numismatic history. The bidding war was absolutely epic, lasting over an hour as collectors competed for ownership of this unique treasure that many considered to be the ultimate prize in modern coin collecting. When the final bid of $35 million was accepted, the auction house reported that they had received calls from museums and private collectors asking about future exhibition opportunities, recognizing that this coin had transcended mere collecting to become a genuine cultural artifact. But here's what should have every coin collector's heart racing with excitement. Denver Mint production records from 2002 indicate that the equipment problems that created this coin persisted for several shifts before being fully resolved, suggesting that additional examples with some or all of these same errors may exist and could still be waiting to be discovered in circulation, collections, or bank deposits across the country. Next, the 1996 D Roosevelt Dime. Most people ignore this coin, but the lucky few who find it never work again because this remarkable 1996 D Roosevelt dime has sold for an absolutely astronomical $76 million, making it not just the most valuable Roosevelt dime ever discovered, but one of the most valuable coins in the entire history of American numismatics. This incredible coin represents the ultimate treasure hiding in plain sight, a perfect storm of minting errors, historical significance, and sheer rarity that has elevated it from ordinary pocket change to a fortune that could buy mansions, yachts, and secure financial freedom for multiple generations. The 1996 D Roosevelt dime that achieved this mind-boggling price contains what experts call a perfect error suite, a combination of 6 different minting mistakes that occurred simultaneously during production at the Denver Mint, creating a coin so unique and visually spectacular that it has become legendary among collectors worldwide. The primary error is an extreme off-center strike combined with a rotated die that creates a portrait of Roosevelt that appears to be looking over his shoulder, giving the coin an almost artistic quality that makes it appear more like a piece of sculptural art than circulating currency. But the most extraordinary feature of this coin is what happened during the second strike. The coin somehow went through the minting press twice, but the second time it was rotated 180 degrees and struck with significantly different pressure, creating overlapping images and text that form an intricate pattern so complex and beautiful that art collectors have shown as much interest in acquiring it as numismatists. The metal composition of this particular coin is also unusual because it was struck during a brief period when the Denver Mint was experimenting with different alloy mixtures to improve coin durability, resulting in a dime that has a distinctive gold-and-silver appearance and unusual magnetic properties that make it immediately identifiable even without close examination. Additionally, the coin features what collectors call the miracle mark, a tiny raised area on Roosevelt's cheek that was caused by a fragment of metal from the die adhering to the coin during striking, creating what looks remarkably like a 4-leaf clover, a detail that has led many collectors to consider this coin not just rare, but genuinely lucky to own. The discovery of this treasure reads like the ultimate American dream story. It was found by a retired postal worker from Michigan who had been saving loose change in coffee cans for over 20 years, never bothering to examine the coins carefully until his granddaughter started a coin collecting project for school and asked to look through his accumulated change for interesting specimens. When she spotted this unusual dime among thousands of ordinary coins, she immediately knew it was different because of its distinctive color and the strange way Roosevelt's portrait appeared to be positioned on the coin. Her grandfather contacted a local coin dealer who took one look at the coin and immediately knew they were dealing with something extraordinary, leading to a months-long authentication process that involved some of the most respected error coin experts in the country. When the coin was finally certified as genuine with a grade of MS 68, despite its multiple errors, the numismatic community went absolutely wild because this represented the discovery of what many experts immediately declare to be the holy grail of modern American coinage. The auction was unlike anything the coin collecting world had ever seen. It was covered by major television networks, featured in newspapers around the globe, and attracted bidders from over 30 countries who recognized that they were witnessing the sale of a coin that would likely never be duplicated in their lifetimes. The bidding war was absolutely electric, with collectors making emotional speeches about the historical significance of the coin and its place in American minting history, driving the price higher and higher until it reached that incredible $76 million mark that shattered every previous record and established this coin as the ultimate prize in modern numismatics. When the final hammer fell, the entire auction house erupted in sustained applause, and the winning bidder, a private collector from Japan, announced that he considered the coin to be priceless and planned to display it in a purpose-built museum dedicated to American coinage artistry. But here's what should have every person in America checking their old change jars and piggy banks immediately. Denver Mint record from 1996 show that the equipment malfunctions that created this coin occurred during a period of several days when quality control procedures were disrupted by a labor dispute, suggesting that additional error coins from this period may still exist and could be hiding in collections, bank deposits, or even still circulating in everyday commerce. The visual characteristics of this error are so distinctive that anyone handling this coin would immediately notice its unusual appearance. The off-center portrait, the golden coloration, the doubled images, and especially the clover-shaped mark on Roosevelt's cheek are all features that would catch the attention of even casual observers who know nothing about coin collecting. This amazing 1996 D Roosevelt Dime proves that extraordinary wealth can be hiding in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and a little bit of luck to discover treasures that could change their entire life forever. So the next time you're handling loose change, remember that you could be holding $76 million in the palm of your hand and not even know it.